Just doing my usual sound check. Am I live right now? Okay, looks like I might be live. Alright, cool. Alright, so, little tiny introductory bit. This is a pretty casual stream, but I figured I would still make it a lesson to the greatest extent that I can. I'm going to start out by doing just checkmate in one puzzles, and that's something that most people take kind of for granted, but it's the most simple kind of puzzle possible. If you are just getting introduced to chess, this is what I would definitely recommend that anyone start with. The checkmate in one basically means it's your move, and there's a checkmate somewhere here, and you have to find it. So that's always the goal. And in this one, it's very simple. We can give a check in only two ways. We only have the rook, so these are our only two options. And if you examine and compare both of them, you can see that rook g7 gives the king places to go. But if we go here, then they have no places to go, so this is the correct answer. So for people who are more familiar with chess, you might be wondering, like, why do we have to do checkmate in one puzzles at all? They're just like too simple. Why don't we focus on like checkmate in 12 puzzles or something? And to answer that, I'd like to turn to an anecdote about our former world champion, Bobby Fischer. So Bobby Fischer, as even people who don't play chess knows, was a American player who was able to defeat the Soviet chess players in the 60s and 70s and become world champion. And then he didn't defend his title and he dipped, and a lot of people say he went crazy. But after he got the title from Spassky, there was a short time where he was anticipating playing a match with Karpov. And during this time period, he was preparing for the match in earnest because he genuinely believed that he would get to face him. And the way that he prepared involved many aspects, but one of the surprising aspects of his training regime is that it involved solving lots and lots of these checkmate in one puzzles. So if someone's already the world champion, you would think that maybe they don't need to do checkmate in one puzzles, right? But the reasoning behind this is that checkmate in one, checkmate wins the game, and finding a checkmate in one at some point in your calculation will definitely come up. Like, imagine if you were reaching a position like this one that we see here, but it was several moves earlier. Like, you're deliberating, maybe your queen was on e2 a few moves ago, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I should put my queen on g6. I'm worried that they'll chase my queen away with rook g8. If you're thinking like that, then it's good to have your brain trained so that you can find that queen h6 is a checkmate. If you can't see that from far away, you're going to have a hard time. So by solving them all in this position, you kind of train your brain to automatically find those resources, even in the depths of your calculation. Which is good, of course. So I'm doing some checkmate in one puzzles. And I should also be reading the chat. Basically, if anybody comes in who is like new to chess and wants to slow down and solve along, then I'll definitely be accommodating of that. So I'm just gonna go at my pace until people show up. There's a good habit that I try to instill in my students when I teach private students, which is not that much these days. But the good habit is to always see all of your checks all the time. In any kind of position, you should know what your checks are. It's very hard to consistently find a checkmate if you don't even know what your options are. So this is a habit that you should make even when you're not solving a checkmate in one puzzle. Besides, it's often the case that finding a check will win you the game even if it's not checkmate. There are often other good reasons to play a check, so you need to be cognizant of all the checks all the time. Seems a little neurotic, but it's a very good habit, and you don't have to really think about it after you have instilled that habit in yourself over time. Just checking Discord real quick. Okay. Lichess has this new puzzle feature. I think I already have mentioned it, but I think it's pretty great, so I continue to recommend that people take advantage of the fact that you can set the themes. Like on the left side of the puzzle, you can select what theme you want. That's how I'm doing only mate in ones right now. I selected mate in one, so that's all I get. The other day there were about like 56,000 checkmate in one puzzles. Today there's something like only 40,000, so I'm not sure why that number is decreasing or changing whatsoever, but 40,000 is still more puzzles than you could probably comfortably do in like a few years. Hello, Bishop Pear on YouTube. Welcome. Just doing some simple stuff today. Maybe I'll do some more sophisticated puzzles in a bit, but it's a chill day. Alright, so this is white to play. If I get one wrong, I'll probably lose like 400 rating points. What's wild is I think in the Lichess algorithm they only put positions where they failed to solve it correctly. So if I click on the game on the left side after I solve the puzzle, it'll take me there and I can see if they got it or not. Sometimes it's good to check out the games, but usually I don't put too much stock in their value since they're all blitz games. Well, not all of them. Is there really only one here? Well, I'll do this one. I think there was more than one. This puzzle is a good example of one of the attacking concepts that Ogard talks about a lot in his books. It's the kill zone concept. So even if you didn't make a full list of checks in this position, you know, there's a bunch of checks. We could check here, or here, or here, or here, you know, lots of checks. And there's other moves besides if you were, you know, maybe not thinking about checkmate for some reason. The kill zone idea is that if the king stays in a certain region, then checkmate's a lot more likely. In this case, I think the kill zone would be something like this. And so they want to play this move to escape here. And if they can successfully do that, then they will not get checkmated. So queen f5 stands out as the only move that prevents king c8. So this would be good even if it wasn't checkmate right away. Crazy how people like didn't get these during the game. Probably just like time pressure nonsense, or not seeing all the checks, or finding a second best move. Let's see. What rating do I think Ogard's book is good for? That's a good question. So he has several books. The one that I'm thinking of is called, I think it's called Attack and Defense, but I always get it mixed up with Ogard with Dvoretsky and Yusupov. They have a book that has like the same title. Let me Google quickly so I know exactly what the title is. I'll send you a link in the chat just so that we're on the same page. I think it's for like mid rating to high rating people. Hold on. This is not showing right. Yeah, cool. Oh yeah, this is called Attacking Manual. So I'll send a link for the Amazon thing. Hopefully the chat will not go nuts when I, the person streaming, post a link. So I think this book is good for probably like, I don't know, 1500 plus. I think that any rating can benefit from his teaching style, but if you want to get the most bang for your buck, probably you have to already have some chess experience. But yeah, I think probably there are better books for lower ratings, but around 1500 plus, it should be best. It's hard to put a number on these things because they have their rating for different reasons. Like you could be 1500 because you never calculate, but you have like the best positional understanding. In which case you could read a book on your forte without any difficulty. So it all depends on you. Like if you feel very comfortable in attacking but your rating's lower, then probably you could still go for it. But it also might not be the best use of time. Professor Nugget, welcome. What's going on is I'm just solving like a million billion Checkmate in 1 puzzles. And this is mostly just for fun for me. It's like my first stream since I got back to Louisiana, so I'm just chilling. But if anybody who has a hard time with Checkmate in 1 comes into the chat, I'm certainly happy to slow down and walk people through the bulletproof process to get Checkmate in 1 every single time. Otherwise, just kind of chatting about chess. I was just talking with Bishop Pear about Ogard's Attacking Manual, which is a good book. I posted the link a second ago. It's posting links is probably not kosher, but anyway, you can find it on Amazon. The Attacking Manual. It's a very good book. It just kind of came up a second ago. Not the topic of our little Checkmate in 1 session today. I've done like 60 of them so far. I like the Checkmates with 2 knights. That's pretty cool. This is a funny position. I think it's only this one. I'm gonna get carpal tunnel from refreshing the page. Just watch. I think it's interesting to observe when I can't immediately spot the move, because that tells me how I could calibrate my understanding a little bit. Like what kind of moves I'm more likely to miss in time pressure. Checkmate in 1, you say? Rook g5. See, that was a slow one for me. Good to pay attention. Alright, it's probably like queen h3. Yeah. Checkmate in 1 is the kind of thing that you should never ever have to think about, but of course it takes time and training to get to the point where you can find a checkmate without agonizing over it. The ones with some tricky detail, like pieces being pinned, those can be especially challenging. I think this has a name like Epaulette Mate or something. That's kind of fun. It's a back rank mate. This is not a smothered mate. I think it has a name, but I don't know what it is. It's probably a cool person's mate. Bulletical from Twitch, welcome. Just doing these checkmate ones over here, don't mind me. If we have like a higher level audience, we could probably do checkmate in 2 or 3 and have a great time like that. But I like doing a million checkmate ones. It's like solving a crossword puzzle or something, you know? Solid, simple, fun. Besides, I don't get to checkmate people in real life that much, so I'm kind of making up for lost time. So many games, so many resignations, and no checkmates. I'm kind of waiting with bated breath for the time when I like mouse slip or something and lose 500,000 points. That was a classic one right there. There's like so many back rank mates. H4 only move? Yeah, H4 was only move. Of course, during training we should go slowly, but the objective of doing lots of puzzles is to eventually be able to enhance your speed, in my opinion. Like, anybody can solve any puzzle given enough time if they understand the chess concepts behind it. But during a real game, we don't have infinite time, so it's good to train yourself to do everything very quickly. But you don't train yourself to do things quickly by actually doing them quickly, paradoxically. You do them slow lots of times until it's very comfortable. How am I doing CR? I don't know what CR means. Abbreviations are really tricky for me, so if you could just fill me in, that would be great. I don't know why, I just really don't do that well with acronyms. Oh, it's me. That's funny. Yeah, I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well on Twitch, Ballistical. Hope everybody's doing well. This is kind of the season for finishing off the bottle of champagne from New Year's and getting down to business. So it's kind of the like, oh man, holiday's over time. Which is just too bad, really. You can't just party forever. I was being figurative, Blitzical. You know, it's like a tradition that people drink champagne around holidays, like New Year. I think it is. Maybe it's just something that degenerate people do and they call it a tradition. No offense to any champagne drinkers out there. That's a nice one. I like the ones with a pin or a discover attack, just cool stuff like that. This is boring. That one is anyway. This one's just like it. You know what? I'll finish my row. I don't know if you guys can see, but can I scroll down? Yeah, I'll finish my row and then we'll do checkmate in 2. Ballistical is asking, can I change the 1 month subscriber emote? It's possible. I don't know what I would change it to though, honestly. I'll have to think about it because it takes some effort to actually make an emote, and the last one I made is kind of just like, it makes me laugh, but it's not really that great for everybody else, I think. So if I do an emote, I want it to be good. Like, what do you think? You think it should be my logo? Yeah, maybe that's a simple solution. Actually, I should write that down because that's probably easy to do even. What's the answer here? It's probably like bishop e6. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, almost done with the row. That's checkmate. Queen f8's mate, right? Yeah. Almost done with the row. f4. One move, you say? There we go. Sometimes it's a lot easier to spot the mate in, like, 2. And in a real game, that's fine. But in training, it's not acceptable to find the wrong mate. Okay, one more. And then I'll do checkmate in 2, because I know that some people here are probably itching for a harder puzzle. Something that doesn't take, like, a fraction of a second. Oh, I guess that wasn't actually my last one. Hold on. Am I done now? Is that the whole row? Oh, weird. After I get, like, a certain number in a row, it glitches, and it does not show that there's more completed. Okay, I'll go to checkmate in 2s now, just for fun. Checkmate in 2 can be really hard, so anyone who's new to chess, checkmate in 2 sounds easier. For some reason, many times when I've launched into a checkmate in 2 lesson with one of my students, like back in the day when I was still coaching a lot, they'd be like, oh, checkmate in 2, that's so easy, because they thought they could go twice in a row. But of course, that's not the meaning of it. The checkmate in 2 means that you have to move, their move has to be forced, or you have to account for all their possibilities, and then you have to deliver mate on the next move. Austin Silvas, what's up? How you doing? I wish that we could cross the chats so that people on Twitch can see the YouTube chat and people on YouTube can see the Twitch chat. That would be really cool. Alright, so here the mate in 2, if I'm not mistaken, is queen h6, rook g7, queen g7. But since there's more complexity to it than just checking the king and seeing if it's game over, it's actually much harder to see this compared to a mate in 1. Alright, let's go to the next one. I've been doing pretty good, all things considered. Alright, so this is mate in 2. I think it's queen e7, king f5, queen e6. Double checking it. Looks good. Yeah, I only stopped, like, in June? Something like that. I think I stopped in June. But it feels like forever, because I've been doing totally different things since then. Like, I'm doing the NASA research. I'm doing all kinds of other stuff with my life. So, it feels like forever ago that I've been coaching. Anyway, I think this one is bishop c3, king a4, and rook a2. When you're calculating a variation for mate in 2, it's very encouraging when they have only one move to play. Not because checkmate has to happen only when they have one move, but because it's simpler to calculate, and you should focus on the sort of low-hanging fruit in the calculation tree. If it's easier to calculate, you should calculate it first, because then you can quickly get it out of the way, and if it's correct, you can play it without much work. So that's why we examine those moves. This one looks like bishop f7, rook f7. No, I'm sorry, it looks like queen f7, rook f7, rook e8. Just double checking it because I don't want to lose all that rating, even though it doesn't matter. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so I have a bunch of checks. I think it's knight e7 though. King h7, rook h4. Yeah. They have more than one move to play after that, but it doesn't matter because either way it's the same idea, so you don't really have to calculate both. G5, only move is to take, and then bishop g5. This is kind of cool. I like this one. Alright, this one, I guess it's bishop a3, king b1, rook d1. It's important to distinguish from, like, other variations like rook d1, king b2, and something else. This also fits nicely with Ogard's idea of the kill zone, which I believe he goes over in his attacking manual. See, they're gonna get checkmated somewhere on the back rank. That's pretty clear. So if you force them to play King B2, you're actually forcing them out of the checkmating zone. Even if mate is still possible, it'll be much more difficult, so we should not let that happen. And so bishop A3 suggests itself naturally. This one looks like rook A1, knight A1, queen B2. This one looks like queen F8, bishop F8, rook F8. Yep. New microphone? No, I just changed time zones and got back to my other microphone. Why, is it sounding better? I hope it's better. This microphone is actually a little ratchet because, well, first of all, it looks like a gun when I hold it like this. I'm not trying to like brandish my microphone right now, but the bass like completely turned into dust the other day while I was streaming, and yeah, it was kind of ugly. I had some stuff I wanted to do, like I have some videos, I've already talked to you about it, Jake, that I'm gonna film, but I didn't want to film them when I was not here because I didn't want the sound quality to be like not good. Okay, so I think it's gonna be rook E1, king F4, rook D4. Yeah, there we go. That's me. Good to know that it's much better though, because I really can't hear myself. I have to just kind of guess all the time. Who subscribed? Thanks for following Space Godzilla 95. Godzilla is a solid song by Eminem, while we're on the topic. Alright, so this one, what's it gonna be? I'm looking at knight h2 just off the bat, because other things don't look that promising. Like queen e3, king g4, f5, king h3 is not exactly tasteful. So knight h2, king e4 is the only move. You know what? I think I underestimated the checks and forcing king g4, because there's queen f2, king g4, queen f5, so that's not that bad. So queen f2, king e4, queen f5 is also mate. I think this is just good. What a relief to not just lose. Okay, this is one of those h5 looking ones, but I'm not that sure. Queen f5, king h4, queen h5. Yep, mate in 2. If anybody wants to go back to the mate in 1s at any point, since that's what I advertised I would do today, I'm definitely on board with that. Just let it be known in the chat, the will of the people. This one looks like bishop b3, which is a really funny looking move. Bishop b3, king a1, then rook c1, or queen c1 is winning. So if king takes bishop, then we have queen 2, c4. I like that. Me gusta. Very nice. I'll do the rook one. Include all the pieces in the attack, even when you have to set them up again right afterwards. This one looks like bishop f7. I'm sorry, h7. King h7, queen g7. Just normal chess. It's double check, so they can't take the queen. Double check is probably the most powerful form of one move thingy in the whole game. This one's definitely like this. There we go. Rook d8, king e7, rook e7. Is this... I'm getting like serious deja vu. Did I not just solve a puzzle like this? Oh well. Queen g6, king anywhere, blah blah blah. I think this is right. Yeah. There's that blah blah I was talking about. Oh no, they're trying to checkmate me. Just kidding. Mate in 2, huh? Rook c1, king c1, queen a1 doesn't really go anywhere. So I think it's queen a1, king a1, rook c1. Bingo. That's called reversing the moves. I mean, it's not really called that, but it's a good tool to use. Basically, I calculated first the wrong line, I calculated rook c1, king c1, queen a1. I saw the king was going skirt, skirt, getting out of here. So we don't like that. That's them leaving the kill zone. So I, instead of just abandoning the whole idea and cursing the gods, I decided that I would try out the other move order first. Like, just the same thing. Boom. And boom. And it turns out that's mate. So don't give up on your ideas too quickly. Sometimes they're still good. What could this one be? I was tripping for a second. I thought this was a queen. I was like calculating discover attacks. Okay, back to reality. Knight f3, king f1, rook f2 is mate. Looks like, sounds like, smells like mate. It is. Alright. What is this Magic Fun Time puzzle? What's the answer? Bishop f7? Could it be? Doth my eyes deceive me? I think it is. That's a pretty nice one. Just like going, sticking it to the man, putting the bishop in their own territory. I think this is just like the other one, like queen h1, king can only go here, and then queen d1. Yep. That's it. Sometimes the first move in a mate in 2 is not check, and that can be really, really difficult, even in a simple position. It's hard to explain how you can find puzzles like that, because the main thing is for you to like see what the checkmate should look like, which is an imagination thing. That's not like a brute force calculation thing. And then like backwards solve to figure out what move would lead to that position. That you just have to, like, I don't know, be very creative, I suppose. Which you can train. I'm not saying you can't train imagination. It's just, it's a lot harder. I don't think it's that easy to systematically train it. You just have to play a lot of games, pay a lot of attention to what the patterns are, and try to replicate them in your games. Yep, Chesteroid, that's the one. Okay, how about this one? And yeah, feel free to call out moves here. I think this one is bishop f4. If they block with the queen, alright, maybe it's not bishop f4. I'm just going to slow down here. What other moves are there? Like, there's knight f5. Knight f5, king e6, queen e7 is mate. Knight f5, king e5, queen e7 is also mate. I think it's knight f5. Okay. Good to go slowly when you're not that sure. Yeah, I've never seen this exact pattern. Cool. Bishop f4 was not it though. And yes, hello. Chesteroid on Twitch. Let's go back to that old one because oh no, I can't do it. I'm a fool. I don't know what to do. Alright, my bad. I wanted to go back to it, but I don't know how to do that in this new interface. But yeah, bishop f4 was not it. Knight f5 was certainly better. Probably there was an eventual checkmate with bishop f4. It was just too spicy. This one I think is just knight e5. Easy mates. People who make these algorithms to scour the light chess or whatever server for puzzles, they're kind of blessed because whenever you find a mate in 2, you also find a mate in 1. Whenever you find a mate in 3, you find a mate in 2. So you just have like so much material to work with after your computer task is finished. I think it's bishop e7, king e8, knight f6. That's mate. And if they go here, I think it's still mate. Cool mate. Everybody's working together in perfect harmony. In total happiness. I think this one's knight f3 and queen d1. Alright, maybe I'll do a couple lines of these and then do then do some mate in 3s. Just like step it up over time, maybe. Or we could go back to mate in 1, like whatever you guys want. Check. They block with the queen and we mate. That's it. Rook g3, king h2, queen h4. Seems simple. Okay, I take and then I ravage the lands. That's what we like. Seems like my connection's not that great. Any 8-year-olds who want to go back to mate in 1? I mean, you'd be surprised. I like mate in 1s. My original plan today was just to do the mate in 1s. They're just, they're nice. Like skipping rocks on a pond or something, you know? Just something to do. Knight f6. Maybe I'm kind of not feeling this position that strongly. Like, I don't have a good grasp of what it should be. Alright, let's say it's knight f6 because it's double check. That's something we can analyze. And they play king to g6. And then queen h6 is mate. Alright, so let's say they went here. King g7. Queen h6 is still mate. And if they play queen h5, it's double check, so they can't do that. So I think it's knight f6. Okay, that was a little bit of a tricky one. Lots of pieces here. I think the knights make it a little tricky too, but that's sort of a blasé comment. People always say stuff like that. Like, oh, the knights are tricky, blah, blah. Anyway, not too concerned about that. Knight g6 looks like it because it gets this bishop involved. It's double check, so they have to go right here or Roni. And then I think knight f8 is double check and checkmate, so not too fast though. Yeah, it has to be this one, otherwise they can block with the rook. Yeah, that's it. Did not notice it right away. It's good to pay attention to the ones that we don't see immediately. Here, if they step on g8, then queen g7's mate, so I think we have to check them. If they play rook e7, we play this, that's mate. If they play here, then queen g7's mate. So I think it's just that. Yep. This is their escape path. Do I really want to let them go on the escape path? I kind of do, because knight f6 cuts both. So queen h6, king e8, knight f6 is mate. Queen h6, king g8, queen g7 is mate. Cool, I like that one. Free queen? Just kidding, it's a checkmate puzzle. So we probably have to take here. No problems with that. They go here, and then we can checkmate with queen h1. That looks good to me, but never too fast since it's just training. There's no rush. This one looks like queen h7, king h7, rook h4. Easy puzzle. Alright, I think I just have to analyze queen e3 because everything else is kind of vague. So queen e3, king e1, knight c3, mate. Did I hear the news that they're adding Puzzle Rush? I did not. That sounds like a vicious rumor. Is it really true? I don't like Puzzle Rush because I think it's not good for learning, but it is really fun. So I have to concede on that point. So I'm looking forward to everyone being happy. I just will probably not participate. See, Puzzle Rush is not even really a chess.com proprietary thing. That's always been kind of a thing on different platforms. And it's a little bit ugly that they tried to take it over and make it their own. And I think it's nice that other companies and websites will be able to do their own versions, if that's true. Could this be one of those weird ones where it's like the first move's not check? I'm not sure, because I looked at this and I saw it was mate, but I had this suspicion that maybe they could not take the knight. They could play like this. And then how do I win here? B5. Okay. I missed that the rook is protecting B5. Yeah, giving only one per day for free is just like, you're basically just edging the whole community of people who don't have the money to do it, which is disgusting to me. Besides, chess is one of those things. It's like mathematics. It's something that's for the people. It's something we can't take away from everyone. It shouldn't have a paywall in front of it. Otherwise, it just becomes like some elitist nonsense and a status symbol, which is a lot less than chess has the potential to be. Chess is under fire in this high technology era, and we need to do what we can to protect it. And one of those protections is to prevent it from being an elitist sport. That'll just be the end. All right, I think I already did a puzzle like this today. Cool. Love it. Maybe I'll step it up soon. I'll do 4 rows of these. You guys can't really see, but there's check marks at the bottom for all the ones I got right. I'll do 1.5 more rows, and then we can do that. Yeah, it's true. Learning has never been made more easy, but if we're thinking about the whole field, there's going to be a greater disparity between the bottom and the top if there's a paywall, and I think that's not completely right. I also think that the quality of what people do on like Twitch and YouTube is a lot lower than what people who pay serious money get, which sounds like it makes sense on the surface, but there's no reason that there shouldn't be like tons of like high quality free lectures. I think when you want things to be individualized, then it's going to really cost you something. But just for the basics of like, where do I start learning chess strategy if I'm like rated 1,000, that shouldn't really be behind a paywall. Just an opinion piece there. I think it's Queen H8. That's kind of cool. Queen H8, King G3, and Queen H4. It's cool when you go backwards, because you don't always get to go backwards to win the game. I even have to admit that the quality of what I do on YouTube is, like, it's definitely lower than what I provide in the times when I've charged for lessons. Just because I'm under, like, a strain to do what's economical for myself, which is also kind of a product of the same, in my opinion, distasteful market forces. Petiso13, hello, from Twitch. Chestroid, bring us some tea. You know what I need? I need a tea emote. I feel like that would be cool. This is what I always do for tea. I do a tilde with the D and one of those straight lines. Yeah, it has been a while since I've been like really streaming on Twitch and stuff, but I got this restream thing and it's working pretty well. So I am able at this point in time. Okay, so where's the mate? I think it's knight h6. That's kind of unexpected. Cool. Maybe it's just unexpected because I'm a plebeian or something. Alright. Where's the lie? Rook b1, king d2, rook d1, mate? I think it's mate. It's mate. All right, it's one of those like check things for sure. Like queen c4, king e5, queen e4. Queen d1 maybe, because I don't want king f3. Queen d1. If they play king e3, then queen to d2 is mate. Queen d1, king to f2. Bishop d4 is mate. Oh no, I lost 51 points. Terrible. Alright, so what have I done? Queen f1, king e3, and rook e1. I think this is it. I got it wrong. But really, what's wrong with this? So they play here. This is not mate. Okay, that's mate. And if they go here, oh, queen d2 is not mate. Yes, that's my mistake. I called this mate, but they have king f3. Okay, that's a learning moment. Cool. I think, yeah, queen f1 was definitely right. That's a shame. But still, good to learn something. I get a little loopy as I stream for a long time, so I could chalk it up to that, but I could also chalk it up to having not played chess since February. So I think it's probably something like this. Yeah, that's mate. Besides, it's fake rating. It's good to make the mistakes in training and not in real life. Okay, this one's got to be like check, like this. There's just no other option. Check. Oop. Getting a little hasty there. I almost pre-moved the wrong thing. All right, checkmate. You know, I've also definitely let my students checkmate me before in the past when I was like talking to their parents or something. That's kind of like the #1 time to make a silly blunder when you're talking. And being on stream is like doing that all the time. But still, I think it's good training for your focus to be able to, like, what's the word for it? Duty cycle, where you can talk to everybody but still solve the puzzle. I was thinking rook d2, king b1, queen a1. I think that's just it. Like, nothing to see here. Still, I'm 2640 after losing 50 points, so that's pretty good. So I'll still get some decent puzzles. But after I finish this row, I'll go to mate and threes, as promised. Well, not promised, suggested. Queen e5, king f7, seems like the wrong way. Queen g7, king e6, queen e5. Then they play king d7. So queen g7, king e6, and... Alright, where's the beef? There's got to be something here. Queen g7, king e6. There's really no mate there. In 2? If we don't do something, there's going to be a checking storm. So we better not delay. It's not one of those quiet mates. Queen e5, king f7, rook g7. Simple stuff. Yeah, I'm tripping. +3? Okay, maybe it's a hard puzzle. Yeah, it was queen e5. That's right. This one looks like it's rook a8, queen b8, knight e7. That's just simple. Okay. Queen f8, rook f8, rook f8. Pretty confident that's true. Yep. Check. Checkmate. But if they go here, checkmate. Yeah, that's it. You haven't been playing any chess at all? Come on, what are you waiting for? Chess is there for you. Chess is the alluring mistress from your work. Alright. Yeah, that's it. People on YouTube are probably like, what's this quote thing? I'm pretty sure it goes to both of them. Alright, changing my setup a bit. It's like that Toto song. They're like, hurry boy, she's waiting there for you. Except it's chess and not a whole continent. Alright, let's see. I think it's gotta be this. They go here. Und dann was? I think b6. If I lose more rating for playing fast in these, I deserve it. I gotta remember. Yeah, playing online just is not chess generally, but it certainly is better than nothing. Ooh, I like this one. I like it. I like it a lot. Boom, 2 bishops mate. Oh, okay, I did 4 lines, so I'm gonna switch now. I'm gonna do mate in 3. Alright, here it comes. They have 11,000 mate in 3s. Mate in 3 is like power law harder than checkmate in 2. It just gets like more than exponentially more complex as you add more moves. Alright, so the scoop is that if our resources are checks like with the queen and the king and stuff. So check, they go here. Probably we check here, they go here. And we have to see knight g4 is mate. I'm pretty sure that's it. So I'm going to just play it. If I'm wrong, I'll just pull out my hair and curse the gods. Alright, that was true. Nice mate in 3. Chestroid, you're onto something. Alright, this is a mate in 3. It looks like someone just tilted the board and they're like almost done cleaning it up. It doesn't really look like mate in 3, but I believe it. Because there's a promotion here somewhere. Or actually just regular pawn mate. We take, they go here, we go here, they go there, we checkmate, they go here, we take their king, they promote to a king, and then we take the king. Easy mate in 3. Okay. What's it gonna be? Mate in 3. What's it gonna look like? By the way, I'm anticipating doing this for like another half hour. After that, I'm gonna venture outside, which is adventurous these days. People are so relaxed, like, oh, thank God, 2020's over. But like, we're still in this pandemic with terrorists in the White House. Like, I wouldn't relax. Not yet. I saw this funny meme, and it was like, yeah, queen lift doesn't seem to obviously work. I saw this meme, and it was like COVID showing 2021 around the place, and it was like the Joker and the clown from It. It's like on point. I'm even considering some really bizarre stuff like this. It just doesn't work, so. Especially they have checkeronis. I feel like it has to be very forcing. Let's say we check, alright? They take with a rook, we play queen g8. That's interesting. They go here. No, we play rook g8. They go here, nevertheless, and then we play queen g5. Alright, got it. Yeah, when I was still in New Jersey, there were curfews in Atlantic City because they were rioting and stuff. Certainly not a amazing, happy, fun time out here. Maybe for some people, like all those people who made that Imagine music video at the beginning of the quarantine. Yeah, things are just crazy all around, but maybe people in other countries are having a better time since they, used their faculties of reason at the onset of the pandemic and are now able to go outside. Meanwhile, we're all peeking out our windows like crotchety neighbors, like, get off my lawn, because we can't go out and do what we want, given the strangeness of the environment. Alright, so what's it going to be? I think it might be this. If they take with the bishop, we checkmate on c2. They take with the king, we play queen a2. They play king back to c1, and then queen c2. So that's a mate. That's a dub. What are the alternatives? We go here, they go here, we play queen a2, that's still mate. They go here, we make a donkey, that's still mate because the queen's guarding e2. So I think it's just this. I think this is a like easy peasy one. It's queen e5, rook e5, rook d8, rook e8. Oof, I clicked. Rook e8, and then rook takes e8. And if they play king g8, like we play queen e5, king g8, then there's queen e8. That's mate in 2. So that one gave me 2 rating points. I'm thrilled. Check. Check. Checkmate. Maybe. Check. Check. More check? Yeah, I think that's it. That's a check. Oh, not that. See, I'm really not good with the whole clicking thing. See, rook a7. They can only go here. Probably we don't want them to play king f5. Ugh. So we'll play queen c8. They have to block with the queen. Then we take it. And that is mate because the queen on d7 guards d5. Alright, slowly. Surely. Oh, wait, hold on. If they play king e5, where's the mate? I'm still pretty confident this is right. I mean, definitely you'd win either way. Alright, that was one move. Alright, if I go here, and they take, and I play... Okay, this was bad calculation on my part. I did not account for king e5. I think you mean queen h6, but after king f5, I don't see the mate. Like, basically we check. If they block with the pawn, we take... Actually, even if they block with the pawn, we don't have mate in 1, because they can take with the rook, so it's kind of just over. But king f5 is what I considered the main line. Like if queen f6, that's more than 3 moves, so don't want that. I think it's rook e7. I just foolishly did not consider. But let's see. Rook e7, king f5. They want to go here. Queen h7. Is that mate? I think it's mate. I'm kind of showing my rust here, but That's okay. We have to be honest about where we're at. That's how we get better. This one gave me +4. That's ridiculous. Must have been a hard puzzle. Why does rook e7 not win? Well, I think it did. I guess that's it. So good question. I think this one's rook h7, king h7, rook h4, king g8, queen g6. All forced? Yeah. Always good to check if it's forced. If they have alternatives, you have to examine them. Like in the last one, I almost got it wrong because I didn't check the real main line before I played the first move. You should see it all before you go in. That's the optimal strategy. All right, queen f7, rook f7, rook c8, rook f8, and rook takes f8. That's 3, right? Yeah. I can count. I swear. A lambda chess player. If I take your meaning of lambda accurately, that's kind of rude to yourself. All right, so I take and check again, and then that's mate. I like. Very nice. We should all be colleagues on Light Chess. So for that reason, I'd like to direct you guys to the fan page that Ballistical made for me, which was very nice. So I'll just share a link so you guys can join in and we can do some tournaments or something sometime. Like, I want us to do a viewer tournament at some point. Probably not today, just because I'm busy later, and I'd like to participate in some capacity, even if I'm too dead tired to play well. So another time, but join the group if you are interested. That's the link. All right, so this one looking like queen h5, but where's the mate in 3? Not too sure. All right, how about this? G5, because if they take, then queen f4 is mate. In 2. If they go here, knight f6 should be mate. All right, I think it's this. Boom. Catastrophic. Love it. Ballistical, if you make too many groups, they'll be spread too thin. You should just build up your own group. I think that'll definitely be good for you. I'm definitely part of it, and I'm there to support you when you run your tournaments and things. Okay, so we take here. If they go back, that's illegal, so they have to go here, I guess. And we take that, and I think that's mate. I can be very, very counting challenged. That's actually my greatest anxiety when solving a mate in N. It's that I saw a mate, and it's like N+1. But I'm trying to have low anxiety. I know you have a group, but if you make more groups, then people might not want to join every single one of them. So it's better to make one group really strong. Just an opinion. So let's say we play queen g6. They can only play here, right? And then we take here, and they go back, and then we go here, and I think that's mate. That's a really kind of fancy mate. We move the queen a million billion times. Check, here, check, there, check, nowhere. Cool. Queen f1, king f1, bishop h3, king g1, rook e1 looks like mate, so I'll play it. That's mate. Yep, nothing like a little swing there. I got a puzzle wrong? Oh yeah, earlier I got a puzzle wrong. I was a little hasty and I thought I saw mate. That's true. But it's okay, because it tells me where I should be looking to fix my rust. I haven't been playing that much, so definitely not on point. I played a GM the other day, and I felt like I wasn't really seeing that much, and that annoyed me. I didn't like it. So I need to get back into some decent shape if I'm going to be playing anyone strong. So let's say knight f5, they go here. I'm not seeing it. Maybe I'm just tired. I'm almost due to like get off stream and get ready to go. So it might be getting to the end here. But I want to at least finish like one line or two lines of mate and threes. So let's see. What's it going to be? Could it be knight f7? Ooh. I always get shocked when someone follows. Thanks for following HighBob97. Alright, this one saying rook g7. And Bozigal said, did I lose rating points? Yes, I lost like 57 or something. Alright, so let's say we go here. And they go here. If we play rook h8, they'll play king g7, so we don't want that. So it looks like it would be rook g7, but they can throw a check in at least. Like, they can check once or twice. So I think it has to be check every move. Because then it won't be mate in 3. Yeah, it does. This might be a 2 knights mate, so I'm trying to keep my my options open here. But it's got to be one of these first. Well, either way, let's just keep a superposition of the two. We don't know which one it is. So it'll be knight f7 or knight f5. King h5. What if it's knight f7, king h5, rook g5, pawn g5? No, there's nobody controlling g6. I was thinking knight f5. But it could be knight f7, king h5, knight f6, knight takes f6, and rook g5. I think that's correct. Just on principle, knight f7 makes a lot of sense, but there's no reason not to calculate it out. That's the training part happening. Knight f7 is very logical as a first move because it's multi-purpose. Like, knight f5 doesn't have the same multi-purpose character because, like, knight g7 doesn't look like it's helping us. So let's play king 2, g6. Knight f7, though, it targets all these squares. Very sensible move. All right, cool. Yeah, it was pretty tricky, but not impossible. Definitely within our capability. So knight f5, king f6, queen e7, king g6, queen g7 is mate. If they go here or here, it's mate in 1 or 2 with queen 2, e7. If they go here, it's mate in 1, so I think it's just this. Cool. This one looks like it's this move, bishop f7. Then they make a queen. Then we play bishop c5, check. They block with the knight, and then we take. But maybe there's some resistance, because this first move's not check. These moves are hard to find and play. Because they could have counterplay. But I'm confident, because their bishop's on the opposite color from the king. The knight is on a square, which is not optimal for attacking f6. They're trapped. Can they guard c5? Nope. They cannot. Snack the penguin. Hello. Welcome. Yeah, they don't have anything, so it's over. This one I think it's g6. But then it's not 3 moves, because it'd be like g6, rook e4, king d1, rook e1, just not 3 moves. So sometimes the stipulation, like mate in 3, it can be very helpful for your training because you'll identify some weak points in your vision since you know what has to happen here. So queen h8, king f7, g6. If they take, we play queen h5. That's it. That's also an example of changing the move order. Alright, so we check, they go here. We check, they go here. And that does not look like checkmate. Like queen g2, they can play anything. So what is it? Dude, you always say you're Mahir. I only call you Snack the Penguin for your own privacy. Yeah, it is on your profile. Everybody knows. Yeah, I think here we want to checkmate on f2. So it would be like queen e3, king f1, queen f2. And if they go h1, then it's rook h6, and bishop h4, and then rook h4. Is that 3 moves? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. Nailed it. Okay. Queen f2, rook f2, rook c1. We've seen this before. I like this one. This one looks fancy. It's probably queen g2, king g2, knight f4 check, double check, king g1, knight h3. And it's true. Love it. Okay, this one's probably rook f7, king f7, queen g6, king g8, and I'm sorry, king f8 and queen g8. Sometimes the fact that your opponent has tremendous counterplay, like queen g2, gives you a hint about what the answer should be. Here, it's queen h7, king h7, rook h4, queen h5, and rook h5 checkmate. You gotta cook. That's cool. When I was a kid, I always cooked for my family. In the ancient times. I also went uphill both ways in the snow to school, where we wrote with chalk and there were no iPads. Yeah, those were the days. There's literally not one check. It's gotta be one of those subtle ones. Probably a knight move. I don't know. This is also a weak point. And if they play queen f3 at any point, we can just take it. So we have these candidate moves. Sorry. Ugh, my arrows are off. Alright, I'm gonna finish this line, then I'll be done streaming today. Alright, so if it's, for example, queen g5, which attacks c1 as well, they have to play g6. I'm sorry, g3. Then we do that check. They block, we take. I think that's it. But do they have any cool checks, like queen g5, queen g8? No, rook g8 is good. If there was king g8, then rook g7 would be counterplay. Probably still losing, though. Queen g5. Is it 3 moves after queen f3? Knight f3, king f1, rook e1? Yeah, that's 3. Oh, even queen c1 is 3, so what is that? There we go. +2. Woo woo. And it looks like Chesteroid got it already. What is SO? And hey, it was actually a pretty good time before phones. We were doing just fine without them. Now that we have all these like cell phones and things, people are requiring activity out of us. Why can't we all just relax, huh? It's not all about GDP out here. I'm definitely like losing my stamina here. I should do this more often so that I can not be so weak. I think it's knight h4, pawn takes, rook g6, king h1, and queen g6. I just don't see any options for them. If they had queen e4, it would be slower, I think. Alright. H4, yee. Alright, I think this one is queen b4, queen b4. Ugh. A takes b4. Knight here. Maybe that's not it. No, you have to see one more move. Bishop c2. Better not to give up. We take, go here, and bishop c2. That's a really cool checkmate. +4. Highest grossing checkmate today. That was cool. I like it. I don't think you can follow yourself. That's why I'm not following me. Sorry for my slowness. Here we go. Rook g7, is it? No, rook h8. Bishop h8, queen g6. Bishop g7, queen f7. Love it. +3. They gave me 2 decent ones in a row. Well, decent rating. Rating doesn't really mean anything. Check, check. Block, check, mate. Alright, what do we do? Knight e7, king h8, knight g6, pawn g6, queen h3. That's mate in 3. Cool. Is this the same game? I feel like really gaslit right now. Alright, I think it's rook g8, queen f6, queen g7, queen takes g7. Cool. Probably it's queen h3. Just threatening mate. They can stop it, but they can't stop this. Queen f2, king h2, rook h4. No checks, no nothing. I'm too fast now. Maybe. All of a sudden. It's like I haven't done this in so long. Maybe it's just necessary to push through and make it happen like that. But being able to get unrusty in like a couple hours is definitely good for the working adult, if that's a possibility. Alright, here I'm looking at like rook f8, bishop e5, but then they have rook f6, so I don't like that. So bishop e5, rook e5, rook f8, king g7, queen g8. Can they delay it anyhow? Bishop e5, rook f6, bishop f6 is mate on the spot. They have no king moves. I think this is it. What a relief. Yeah, cool. Check. Mate. Check. Check. Mate. That's it. No, they can't go to f5 for the same reason. Yeah, I like the variations on the mating ideas. Just turning the moves around is cool. A little algorithmic thinking. In good keeping with my logical roots. Okay, this is mate. Just like we take, mate, take, they go here. Oof. Shh. There we go. They go here. We check again. They go back, and we play this one. I think this should be knight e5. And the 3-move mate is king g8, queen f8, king h7, queen h8. So that's 3 if I can count. And if they take, we play queen f5. And then they go, then they go to g8, and then we play rook f8. And that's the whole story. Lovely poem. There we go. All done. Okay, what is this? This comes to mind right away. They can only go here or here. If they go to h4, then queen g3 is mate. If they go to f4, the most reasonable move, I think queen g3 stops king e5, whatever, we're just hunting the king. Then they go here. And then queen e3 is by all appearances mate, so that's it. Queen takes a8. Okay. I can do that too. It's probably going to start like this. They can block with either rook, so that's a little tricky. Obviously, if they play here, we're just going to checkmate them. Shake hands. So they're going to block with a rook. Like maybe they'll block with this rook. Then we check. They go here, and this is mate. And I think it doesn't matter which rook they pick. You could almost play queen g4 as a matter of faith. Like you're losing, you have no other move. Luckily it's mate. I wonder what crazy move black played in this game, given the circumstances. But I don't wonder that much. Try not to delight in other people's blunders. It's called Schadenfreude. Alright, so we take, they block, we take, that's mate. Take, they go mayhaps here. No, here. Let's say they go here. No, they can't. That's illegal. They have to go here. Check. No. Alright, let's say they check. Go here. And this is mate. That's a cool checkmate. I like. Double check. Seals the deal. I almost missed that a rook was protecting one of my pieces in an earlier puzzle, and I got this one pretty quickly, so that's pretty satisfying. Somebody head out? Well, probably I'm going to head out too. So, yeah, I have to go do real life things, but it's been great being with you guys. We did Checkmate in 1, Checkmate in 2, and Checkmate in 3. I'd only been planning Mate in 1, but yeah, this one is pretty good. So I hope to see you guys next time. Definitely join our Discord. I think the link that Stream Elements posted is inaccurate, so I will share a link right now for those of you who are interested in joining our community. You know, you can work together with other members on your chess and things like that. So that's the real link. I just posted it. And yeah, so it's been great. Hope you guys will tune in next time. Yeah, have a good existence, everyone.